Here are 3 marketing rules that'll help you get more commercial cleaning contracts. If you've been struggling to generate more cleaning leads for your commercial cleaning business, then this video is going to help you understand what might be going on and what you might be doing wrong, maybe some parts of what you're doing right, but help you get a clear path and a clear view of your market so that you know how to implement whatever you need to do to get results. By the end of this video, you're going to understand how to make the strategic marketing decisions that you need to implement into your company so that it continues to grow and it doesn't stop because of lack of leads. Hey, I'm Matt, your commercial cleaning CEO, and I built a 7-figure commercial cleaning company, and I'm here to help you build your own profitable commercial cleaning company as well. So the first rule of marketing that we're going to cover is something that I found in a research study during business school on marketing. Now, I can't remember exactly who did this study, but I have used this rule to successfully plan marketing strategies that grew our commercial cleaning company. Okay, so here it is. It's called the rule of the market pyramid. And what this market pyramid is going to do is it's going to first explain maybe why we're having some issues with our current marketing, but also what way do we want to approach our market differently to get the results that we want. It's going to set clear expectations for us backed up by data. So what this pyramid represents are the different buyer stages within a market for any product or service. So let's start with the base, and I'm going to explain how this impacts your marketing. So at the base, we have 60% of this pyramid, and this 60% is comprised of people in your market who are what are called not problem aware. So right now, the majority of the buildings that you are wanting to get into are in this base. Even if they have cleaning issues, they're not totally problem aware. It's not bothering them right now. It's not an issue. The price isn't a problem. It's not budget season. Whatever it is, it's just not bothering them yet. So now let's move up to the next stage, which is going to bring us even closer to that buying point. And this is going to be the individuals or the buildings that are problem aware, but they're not doing anything about it yet. These are the buildings where maybe the management has noticed there's been some quality issues. Maybe there's been some communication problems with their current commercial cleaning service. Whatever it is, they're aware of problems, but they're just not to the point of frustration yet where they're really going to make a change. And up at the next rung, we have 17% of the market. These individuals have passed from being problem aware to the next stage, which is what we call info mode. They're out there in the market searching, maybe getting quotes. They're considering changes. They're talking with their team about it. Their management has maybe said, we need to make a change, start learning about what our options are. And then they go from info mode all the way up to right before they buy. And this is the buildings and individuals who are ready to invest and purchase commercial cleaning services. This is where the final 3% is of any given market. It's comprised of companies that are making the change now. If they're not making it right now, they are actively processing their decision and they're about to make it. So what does this mean for you? Well, first, we need to understand how this pyramid works. And you may have picked it up as we went through it. What you're seeing is the customer journey. It's a cycle. You have customers that start off not problem aware and they move their way up the pyramid and should end up back down at the bottom where they're no longer problem aware. So the first thing I would tell you is that set your expectations accurately. When you're doing any given amount of outreach to grow your business, whether it's cold calling, cold email, or any of the tactics that we talk about on this channel, you have to know that you are going to be interacting with these different levels of people in the marketplace. And on top of that, they're probably interacting as well with other companies. So let's take that 3% at the very top who are actively buying right now. Just because there are 3% there and you have 1,000 buildings in your city, which means there are 30 buildings making a change right now in that scenario, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the chance to talk with all 3 of those because they've already been through info mode. They've already talked to whoever they want to talk to. And if you're doing outreach, hoping to get a quick quote, hoping to get an opportunity that's ready to move right now, it's going to be very unlikely if you're targeting those 3%. This is also why cold calling services that promise to get you lots of leads and appointments, they typically compete just on price for you. They'll call in and say, we're willing to beat whatever price you've got, or we're here to save you money. Of course, they're going to set an appointment for you, right? Because the people that are calling and that are answering the phone are the ones who are in that ready mode or right there exiting the info mode. And it's just like when you go to the store, right? If you go to the store and you see a good deal, you're going to take advantage of that deal. If it's discounted or if you get a bundle, whatever the deal structure is, it's going to be the reason that you make that decision. And so if you only focus on marketing to people that are in shopping mode, then it's going to be hard to win them at a higher profit level because all that they want is a good deal. And they're actively in the store looking for a deal right now. Now, it's not to say that everybody in that ready-to-buy category is going to be in that shopper mode looking for a deal, but the vast majority of the time, to slow them down and make them choose you instead of another company they were already checking out, it's going to have to be a price game. And so what I recognized when thinking about how we were going to grow our commercial cleaning company was that we don't want to focus and have our sight set just on finding those ready-to-buy facilities. We can come across them, and that's great. We'll take it if the opportunity comes up and the price is right. Instead, we want to do what I call life cycle acceleration. Life cycle acceleration is where you market to the lower ends of the pyramid, the very large pool that few others are really reaching out to. And because of the way you market to them and interact with them, it moves them from being not problem aware to being problem aware suddenly. And then they quickly pass through info mode because they now have a relationship with you and into ready to buy mode, and they're ready to buy from you. And in order to do that, we actually have to be prepared to go deeper with companies. And that leads us to the next rule, which is what I call the rule of 14. Now, this rule has been studied, and I actually learned it from a mentor, and it's what we use to drive that accelerated cycle for clients that we want to win. The rule of 14 states this: it takes 7 to 14 times of somebody seeing something to take any sort of action on that thing. To better illustrate, think of a billboard. So if there's a restaurant that opens up off of the interstate and you drive that way multiple times, it's a new restaurant, let's say, and they put a billboard up. Well, you drive by and you see, oh, that's a new restaurant. Cool. Well, you keep recognizing and remembering through your trips that a restaurant, that new one, is there. And at some point, after enough recognition, you decide at some point, if we're hungry, we might actually go eat at that restaurant. You're going to make a decision to at least visit it once. And this is where commercial cleaning business owners struggle. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we have not seen success with billboards. Someone else might have, but I wouldn't recommend it for your commercial cleaning company. The reason that they struggle is because they expect to get more results out of the initial marketing and outreach that they do. And I'm using cold calling as an example because it's very straightforward metrics. So let's say that someone has a list of 1,000 offices and they call them all once and they don't get anything out of it. They're upset that they bought the list, right? Well, what most likely happened with that list is they got met with a bunch of gatekeepers. They may have gotten through to a few decision makers and had a couple conversations, but no one made any sort of decisions just yet. But the vast majority of the conversations are probably with people who answered the phone at the front desk. So that person who answers the phone at the front desk, to them, you're just another person, right? You're just another cleaning company. Who cares? There's so many of them out there. There's so many people that I got to talk to all day and do my job with. Click, right? Cold calling can be difficult, but let's say that they get another call and then they get another call. What's the next action that you're wanting them to do? You're wanting them to get you in touch with whoever it is that oversees that facility. So by the 14th interaction with that gatekeeper, odds are you either got a conversation or got forwarded to that decision maker, or you found out that it's something you need to follow up on at a different time with a different person as the gatekeeper. But then it doesn't stop there. You have to continue the rule of 14 through to the decision maker. What decision do you want them to make? You want them to agree to let you follow up with them, or to be in line for their next bidding process, or to actually come in and do an appointment. And so what might that take? It might take 7 to 14 interactions, whether it's in person, over the phone, over email. You got to be recognizable to them, and then they're going to remember you. The rule of 14 sets our expectations, but then causes us to approach how we're marketing to a facility with the goal of being recognized by the decision maker 7 to 14 times. You see, the way to get more out of your market is to market to less facilities and do more for them. As a coach to commercial cleaning business owners, the number one thing that I see that new clients are doing that's keeping them from getting results from their marketing is they're trying all these different ideas at all these different facilities, and they haven't zeroed in and focused on the ones they really want to go after and then implemented a metric like 7 to 14 interactions with somebody in order to get the next step. Now, just because there's 7 to 14 interactions doesn't mean that it has to be a personal interaction either. It's just brand recognition. It can be gifts that you drop off. That's why I like gifts, right? They can look at that coffee mug. a lot of times. So there's ways that you can have the rule of 14 work in your favor without your personal involvement. And that's where you want to go in your mind, is think, how can I have them see our brand 14 times? If you go deep, that's where the gold is. So how much of this should you be doing to realistically be getting results from your market? That's where I want to introduce you to this essential rule here, which is called the rule of 5%. Now I'm going to give you the simple definition and then explain it a little bit more, because the simple definition can be misunderstood. The rule of 5% states this: whatever size of company you want to own within the next 2 years, you need to invest 5% of that top line revenue size. So, okay, that's a little bit confusing. Here's how that practically works out. Let's say you want to take your commercial cleaning company to that awesome $1 million 7-figure level within 2 years. What this rule of 5% means is that we need to take 5% of that $1 million mark, and that is the amount that we need to start investing now into marketing and growth in order to reach that level within 2 years. Now, to be clear, this is a general rule of thumb, and you're looking at investing $50,000 per year into growth activities in order to reach that scale. Now, you can invest more, you can invest less. It's just going to change the approximate time frame that you get there. But depending on where you're at in your commercial cleaning journey, you may not have an extra $50,000 a year to throw down into growth. And that's why this rule needs another bit of explanation. You can take the equivalent of that $50,000 and apply it to time. And most likely in this scenario, if you were to pay a salesperson a base salary of about $50,000 a year, again, it just depends on your market, then they should be able to produce for you a $1 million company within 2 years. So instead of paying somebody else or other marketing tactics to do it, you can do it. So you can go all in, full-time into growing your business without spending any of the marketing dollars, right? You can spend a lot of time on email, a lot of time prospecting, a lot of time on the phone, and hustle your way to $1 million as long as you're consistent and investing your time just like you would otherwise be investing the money. But there's more, because you don't have to go all into one bucket and exclude the other completely. You can customize your investment of time and money to match your situation. So if you're not able to spend 40 hours per week on sales and driving growth, maybe you're able to spend 10 hours per week. Well, then what do? You offset your lack of time spent with money invested into things such as Google Ads, investing in lists that make your time more productive, investing in gifts and follow-up processes with facilities, and any of the other ideas that I mentioned on this channel. But essentially, you're putting out that 5% effort for that $1 million level. Now, you also don't have to aim for hitting $1 million in 2 years, as great as that might be, or you may be beyond $1 million. You may be at 10 million and you want to grow to 100 million. You simply apply the rule of 5% to figure out how you strategically need to allocate your time and resources to reach that goal. Now, you can also do the reverse of this as well. So let's say that you have a fixed budget. You can only invest $1,000 per month into any sort of advertising or growth activities for your business. And now you can anchor your expectations, because that $1,000 per month is 5% of $20,000 per month. So whether you're investing all time, all money, or a combination of the two, you can reasonably expect to reach $20,000 per month in recurring revenue at that level of investment and growth. Now, again, this rule is a strategic guide for how to plan and allocate your resources. Your skill, marketing selection, and the entire strategy that you implement can affect just how much more or less your company grows based on what you put in. Look, if you want to know all the marketing tactics that work and a full marketing strategy put together just for you and your company, check out the links down below, which are your options on how I can help you out in taking your commercial cleaning company, or even getting you a new one started up and taking it to the next level. The reason I make these videos is to help you out, and so I can help you out more if you decide to work with me. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt, your commercial cleaning CEO, and until next time, keep building.